Hi everyone, sometimes doing videos for this channel, I do videos that both scare me and anger me in equal measure, and I think this is one of them. To prove my point and just to explain the whole situation, take a look at this video from BBC Click. I saw it about 5 or 6 days ago. Take a look at this. It's astonishing.
Don't cover my face, I cover my face. Don't push me over when I'm walking down the street. How would you like it if you walk down the street and someone grabbed you? Hold yourself down, you're going over. That's you. You would like it, would you? You mind your neck?
What's your suspicion?
Yes. The fact that he's walked past clearly marked
I would do the
facial
same.
recognition thing and covered his face.
I would do the
It
same.
gives us grounds to stop
No,
him
it doesn't.
and verify.
The chap told me down the road, he said he got facial recognition. So I walked past like that. It's a cold day as well. As I've done that, the police officers asked me to come to him, so I've got me back up. I said to him, off, basically. I said, I don't want my face shown on anything. If I want to cover my face, I'll cover my face. It's not for them to tell me not to cover my face. I've got a now £90 fine. There you go, look at that. Thanks lads, £90. Well done.
We ought to explore all technology to see how it can keep people safer, how it can make policing more effective. However, we are completely aware of some of the concerns that are raised, and what we're doing with these trials is actually trying to understand those better so we can actually protect human rights but also keep people safe at the same time.
And this is the thing why it scares me, because like I said, 3 arrests from that one trial, 3. But then the other guy, yeah, they fined him. Now, the reason why it angers me is, I think you'll probably agree with me in that that's not so much as an infringement of human rights, of civil liberties really, let alone human rights, but it's not just an infringement of civil liberties. That's just completely removing them. That's totally removing them. Now, there's already enough cameras in the UK, I think. I mean, just look at the statistic. A Londoner is likely to be caught on security camera over 300 times a day, according to reports. Although which reports they are, it does vary. But there is a lot of them in this country. And if you add facial recognition in to the mix as well, then we're really getting into Big Brother territory, aren't we? Because let's face it, with track and trace technology and this facial recognition and the biometric software, etc., they can track that person everywhere you go, every single where you go. It's the equivalent, as far as I'm concerned, it's the equivalent of Tony Blair's ID cards situation in 2006 coming in. But instead of having to carry them, you've got to walk around with it tattooed on your forehead for everybody to read. And if you cover it up, they're going to fine you £90. That is the direct equivalent of it, as far as I'm concerned. Now, they scrapped that in 2010. And with it was the Tories that scrapped it, I think, because it was Tony Blair that tried to bring it in 2006. And I think the Tories scrapped it. It might have been one of their manifestos. In one of their manifesto promises, the ones that they did keep. But I think this might have been the way they thought that they were going to go all along. We don't need these ID cards. We can just scan everybody's face in the future. You have to, honestly, with the Tories, you would not put it past them to be thinking that far ahead. And I remember, at the time of those ID cards, the one thing that they kept saying was, you know, as an argument for ID cards, well, if you've got nothing to hide, then you've got nothing to worry about. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Well, first of all, you have. We'll put a pin on it for a second. But second of all, we have the right in this country to remain anonymous. We actually have that right. I checked. We do have the right to remain anonymous. And that guy in that video, that right was taken away. That copper was on very shaky legal ground, I am sure. And first of all, I mean, forget the legal ground. First of all, come on. I hate to go there, but if she walked past, would she have got fined £90? Of course not, because that would be a direct violation of her religious beliefs, wouldn't it? That's the way the law stands at the moment. Does she get a free pass from her not showing the equivalent of her papers? Because that's the equivalent here that we're talking about. If you can be tracked everywhere you'll go and you can't hide your face, you've got to show your papers everywhere you go. That's the equivalent of it. Like I say, it's scary. Now, people are obviously fighting back. This guy, there's a guy called Ed Bridges. He's taking South Wales police to court for a breach of human rights. He had a similar situation where he walked past one of those facial recognition things and just thought, hold on a minute, I haven't given my permission for that. So he's taking South Wales police to court. And I wish him good luck. I really do. And if he's doing it on the basis of human rights, then, he really needs to be, thank his lucky stars, his name's not Julian Assange, because otherwise he wouldn't have a standard chance in hell of winning the case. Not that I think that he's got a good chance anyway. Let's face it. This software, you know what? It's only as good as the people who program it. San Francisco have already banned it. And there's a reason behind why they've already banned it. There's several reasons, actually. He's to explain one of them. He's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. HuffPost Politics tweeted this out, by the way. Take a look at this video and her asking questions about this recognition, facial recognition software and biometric software.
So what demographic is it mostly effective on?
White men.
We saw that these algorithms are effective to different degrees. So are they most effective on women?
No.
Are they most effective on people of color?
Absolutely not.
Are they most effective on people of different gender expressions?
No, in fact, they exclude them.
So what demographic is it mostly effective on?
White men.
And who are the primary engineers and designers of these algorithms?
Definitely white men.
So we have a technology that was created and designed by one demographic that is only mostly effective on that one demographic, and they're trying to sell it and impose it on the entirety of the country. And do you think that this could exacerbate the already egregious inequalities in our criminal justice system?
It already is.
That's the state in America. They are stricter on these things than we are over here in the UK. They are stricter on these sort of things in America. We get filmed everywhere we go in the UK. So you can imagine all the problems that they're having over here. It's going to be worse over here. Basically, we're going to be adopting racist AI programs or facial recognition programs. That's what it looks like anyway. Now, not only did San Francisco ban it, as you can see there, but Amazon shareholders actually tried to ban the sale of it to the police as well. They tried to ban their own company from selling it to the police. Now, obviously, this lost. It was rejected. It was amazing, actually, that the questions even got to the ballot on the shareholders' meeting. They tried to, the big boys with all the votes tried to squash it, but eventually it got there and it just, it got laughed out. Apparently, it got rejected massively. But, there's a lot of concerns over this facial recognition software, its accuracy, whether it's, what it's going to be used for. Which is really worrying when you consider that Amazon, who are, let's face it, the biggest company on the planet right now, and, storing all sorts of data on us and having all sorts of contracts with this CIA, let's face it, Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, remember, sits on boards of the CIA. But that's who's going to be keeping this software. for the government or for MI6 or MI5 in this country, GCHQ, I suppose. It's going to be Amazon. I can't help but think, listen, let's put the police thing to one side and how the police will use it nefariously and the problems with it being racially discriminatory and all the legal questions with regards to people wearing burqas, etc. Let's put that to one side. But just think of walking down the street at the moment and how advertisements can change. I mean, the advertisements on the side of my bus change, on the side of the bus stop change. If they've got that software, what's to stop them changing your signs as you're walking down the road? Just from scanning your face and seeing, oh, they might want that, and they were surfing for that earlier, and oh, they asked Google this question, oh, they asked for a map to a coffee house. Maybe we'll... Do you see how your details can then be sold, and your reality around you can be nudged and shaped at the whims of, let's face it, a guy who his entire ethos at the moment seems to, or his entire mission seems to be able to sell every single person on the planet, every single thing on the planet that's purchasable. And if it's not purchasable at the moment, privatize it and sell it them then. And then there's the police aspect of it, and how, let's face it, they can catch you doing all sorts of things, but they can't prove that, you know, they can't get you on it because the way that they are gathering that information on you is illegal. You could do it, for instance, if they were tracking you through the TV, which, thanks to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, we found out that the CIA really, really could do with certain TVs and turn on them listening devices, etc. But you can see they can do that already, and they are doing it in America already with FISA courts, etc. And as Bill Binney has explained to other independent media news organisations out there and news companies out there, they'll do parallel reconstruction. If they can't get you on the one thing, they'll say to the police, listen, he's doing this, but, you know, you can go and find out in other ways. There are so many questions to think of in this, with this scenario. It was a great video done by We Are Change. That was it. Go and check them out on YouTube. They're an excellent channel. And they were explaining how terrifying biometrics had used Woody Harrelson's face to go after a beer thief in America. A beer thief. It was you should go to the channel and take a look at it. There's a guy who, caught on camera, looked like Woody Harrelson, couldn't find him through facial recognition, so put Woody Harrelson face in, and one of the possible messages that came up was this beer thief, and they caught him that way. But how much of your civil liberties are you willing to abdicate to get those certain arrests and those petty arrests? All of them? Because if you ask me, that's essentially what you'll be giving up and what we'll be giving up when this comes into law and happens. And it looks like it's just going to happen. Unless we really get on top of it and really start shouting about it, they're going to use this in ways that you and I cannot possibly think of to screw with your life. Like I say, we need to fight back against this media because I fear for humanity, I really do. Thanks very much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe and please click the bell below so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. Click through to the website so you can find out ways to support me. I can't do this without your support. Really appreciate it. Thanks very much for it. Till next time. Peace and take care.